We all thought Maplestory was a full-time game. Just wait until next summer when this Legion Champ stuff comes out. So I decided not to make a Legion Champ video because I'm pretty sure every single Maplestory YouTuber made one. So if you don't know what it is, I'll give you a quick rundown. Basically, you need 6 characters to defeat specific bosses. It's Lotus, Black Mage, Saren, Vihila, and Kalos. And then if you defeat them solo, you get stats. I want to go into actually how I'm preparing and planning for this event. This event is mostly like end game. I would say, well, minimum you need 8500 Legion and at least a 260. I would say level wise, minimum you probably want to be 280 to 285. I'm 282 right now and I'm starting to work on this. I would say that's like not a bad spot. First, we're going to talk about how I choose them. So how I chose my Legion champs, this is in the order of priority for me on how I chose them. So number 1 is characters I want to play. Number 2, Cygnus Knights plus resistance. So vac pets you can only share with your class. Means I don't want a bunch of different classes because then I need a bunch of different vac pets. So I kept it mostly to Cygnus Knights. I sprinkled a couple of resistance in there, the characters that I do like. That's to keep the vac pets minimal as possible. I would say 1 to 2 is probably the max you want to get. Ideally, most people probably want 1. Number 3, strong characters. Obviously, it's pretty simple. You want it to be easier rather than harder, so I'm picking characters that are stronger. Ideally, if they have good burst and good DPM, that's nice. 4, easy to play. I don't want to have to play a class where there's like a ton to learn. Good solo bossing class. It is going to be a solo bossing challenge basically, so it is important to be able to solo boss on the class. Now I have the goals for each character. So this is every character outside of my main. Every single one of these I want to be H Saren solos because H Saren is where you get the crit damage, and I think Black Mage is the boss damage, so you don't need anything past that. Kalos is like IED, which is useless, so you don't have to worry about getting them to Kalos solos, which is great. But H Saren solo, so they need to be level 275. They need to be max Arcane Force, which takes 3 months. I don't remember exactly how much Sacred Force it is. It's 250 or 275 for H Saren. I'll probably just do 275 if you know in the comments. Feel free. Liberated, which takes 8 months. It will take 3 months in the summer. Pretty sure there's going to be an update where they make it 3 months instead, so it's going to be way easier to get your liberated weapon, which is very nice. The superior set done, which is 2 months minimum. That's Gollux. And then I want them to have 180 to 200% drop gear, which is 1 line on 9 accessories will get you 180. And then if you have 8 accessories with 1 line and then the 9th accessory has a double drop, then that'll get you 200. So that's what we're going for. The accessory event coming up is going to be very nice for that, so you can get a bunch of accessories to legendary. Now I'm going to go over the main things to do for each character. This is pretty much in the order that you need to do them too. So first, Arcane River dailies plus weeklies is going to be how you max the arcane symbols. Second, Pink Bean, Horntail, Zaka, Magnus, and Hilla. You're going to need the boss accessory set early on to be able to progress. And then Arcarium, you're going to have to do as early as possible because you want Dom pendants. So Dom pendants are good for 2 things. 1, you need them just to wear, and they help with the boss accessory set. And then 2, you also need to be able to transfer pendants to the Gollux pendant that you get. And Dom pendants are very good for that as well. So doing Arcarium as early as possible is very nice. Von Bon, Crimson Queen, Pierre, you need the CRA set. It's going to last you literally forever. Then the Haven, the Dark World Tree weekly quest plus Enlomian is going to be how you get your Abs Lab set. Helix, going to be 4 set superior. It's the hardest difficulty of Gollux when you break no body parts. Going to get you your 4 set superior stuff. Takes 2 months as early as you can do it. Monster Park plus training. Obviously that's going to get you to level 275 with the Arcane River dailies and whatever fams you get. So when you're training, you're going to be farming familiars as well. So whatever you get lucky, maybe you get a large drop, maybe you get a boss damage, an attack one. Whatever you get lucky with is going to be useful, honestly. Once you get 260, the grandest daily is how you're going to get your 270 Sacred Force. C Tenny, H Luwil, and C Slime. So this is the Tenebris bosses, Lucid and Will, and then Chaos, Guardian Angel Slime, which C Tenny is Dark Knell, Gloom, and Vihila, if you didn't know, on their hardest difficulties. And that's how you're going to upgrade from your Abso and boss accessory set. You're going to get your upgraded new set of gear and arcanes to replace your Absos, which is very important and necessity to get to H Saren for sure. Black Mage every month is going to be how you liberate your weapon. Meister accessory crafting is really nice as well because you need it. 2 reasons it's useful. 1, you don't have to worry about KTs if you get Meister rings, so you can use Meister rings instead of Kana's treasures, which are called KTs. You can use Meister rings instead of KTs to just replace the slot. You can also use them both if you don't have a slime ring yet or an Oz ring, which is very nice, so you could use those.
And you also can use them to transfer into the Gollux rank, which is very useful. If you're in the area where I said where you're 280 to 285, you could probably make a lot of Meister rings. Right now I'm 282. Just from gathering stuff from playing, I can probably make 50 Meister rings, which is more than enough probably for every single character. So it is really useful. You don't have to worry about Pinot at all. Number 12 is going to be Threads of Fate on your main. The main reason you want this is because you need the materials for Meister accessory crafting to get the Meister rings. So you want to get the materials from Threads of Fate. It's the easiest way to do it. It's also going to help with training on every single character too, so it's very important. Now we're going to go into the Legion champs that I picked. So Nightwalker is my main, love that class. Demon Slayer, Xenon, Thunderbreaker, Wind Archer, and Shadower. Shadower is going to get replaced because it's my only Explorer. I don't want to get a vac pet on one character, so I'm going to replace that. I also don't like having to weave 24/7. It's not really fun, and if I can decide not to do that early on, I'm going to decide not to do that. I don't mind sticking on, like, you have to stick on the boss with Shadower, but you have to weave, and it's like your damage is very dependent on how consistent you are with weaving. If you stop weaving for a second, your damage is just way worse, which is not something I want to have to deal with, so I'm going to switch that character, which I'll go into in a second how I'm going to actually go about this process. But I want to talk about how I just have each character set up. So first one, the goal is N-Kalos solo. Currently it's N-Kalos min cut. It's 185 mil CP, 282 out of 285. Arcane Force is maxed. It's 440 sack. 4 set 22 stars, and Liberation's in March. The Demon Slayer, the goal is H Saren solo. Currently it's H Lotus. It's 26 mil CP right now. 262 out of 275, 1160 out of 1350 Arcane Force, 110 out of 275 Sacred Force, and then 4 set 20 to 22 stars right now. This was my most recent Hyperburn with the Shade, so it's very new, but we're progressing pretty good on it. The Shadower is going to get replaced with probably a Cygnus Knight. I haven't decided which one yet, but I'm still working on it right now because I don't have a ton of 260s, so I got to work with what I got, and then I'll replace it later on. And then the goal for this is HV Hilla solo. So I don't want to get this one to H Saren because, like I said, I'm going to replace it. But the goal is to solo C10. And then currently it's H Lotus. It's in a very similar spot. It's 24 mil, 260, 110 out of 1350, Sacred Force 0. I'm not working on the Sacred Force for this because I'm just going for C10 solo because it's going to get replaced. So the Superior set's also 4 set, 20 stars. The Xenon and the Thunderbreaker are not made yet because they are summer hyperburns. So I'm pretty sure we get 2 hyperburns this summer. So I'm just going to hyperburn both of these. And then the Wind Archer I do have as a mule already, which obviously I want to H Saren solo. It's 4.5 mil CP, 226 out of 275. The Arcane Force is 300 out of 1350. Sack's obviously 0. Subset is 0 right now. I am doing Gollux on it every day, so hopefully that'll be done in 2 months. With this character, all I'm really doing on it is I'm doing Gollux, I'm doing Monster Park, and I'm doing my Arcane River dailies, and that's it. I'm not really doing any bosses or anything like that because it's not really the focus. So I'm going to talk about how I'm going about this. So because we only unlock 3 slots to begin with for the Legion champ, I'm going to assume we get the next 3 slots in the winter, or we get them periodically like every couple months. So it's going to be a little while to go from 3 to 6. So I'm not working on 6 right now. I'm only working on 3 because I don't want to spend all my time playing Maplestory. What I am doing is I'm using my main to get 2 more characters strong enough to do C10 solo and strong enough to have good drop gear. So I want them to be able to, I want 3 characters by summer when the Legion champ system comes out. I want 3 characters that are at least C10 solos with good drop gear so that I can trade with those 3 characters to fund my next 3 characters way easier. Because let's say, for example, that I worked on my Nightwalker's already fine. I don't have to do anything and it could solo what it needs to solo. These 5 characters, let's say I worked on them now. I'd only be able to trade on 1 character, so I'd go Nightwalker and Demon Slayer would get the trade. So this guaranteed drops, which makes it faster. But the other 4, I would have to do the struggle parties for, and it would just take forever because you're not guaranteed the drops. Whereas if I got 3 characters strong enough, and then I traded on these 3 characters to fund these 3 characters all get guaranteed drops. So every single Twilight drops, every Slime Ring, all that stuff is going to be guaranteed. So they're just going to progress way faster. I don't have to worry about them. It's a lot less work because I'm only really working on 2 characters right now. And the Shadower, I'm not working on everything for, so I'm working on a little bit on the Wind Archer. I think it's a much better way to like space it out right. It's January. It gives me until summer to get 3 characters C10 solo, which is that's not difficult. And then from summer to winter, if they come out in winter, I can get 3 more characters done in that time, way easier as well, because I'm going to be able to trade on 3 different characters, which is going to make it just so much faster. And then after I have those 6 characters done, I'm going to replace the Shadower, and I'll just be able to trade the Shadower out. That's how I'm going about it. I'm trying to do it in like a smart way that doesn't take up as much of my time as possible. If you have any questions, feel free, leave a comment. If you did enjoy the video and if it did help you out, hit the like button, hit the sub button. I really do appreciate it. There's going to be a bunch of Legion Champ videos on this channel. Also, I am doing a Legion Champ progression series. I have a couple ideas for this series. I want you to leave a comment down below which one you think is the best. So, number 1 is going to be a Legion Champ progression series for multiple characters. So, I could have a Legion Champ progression series for my Demon Slayer, for my Shadower, for my Wind Archer. I could have one for every single character, which would be 5 Legion Champ progression series. I could have one for just one character just to show it one time so that people can get an idea of how I'm progressing up to H Saren. So I could just do like a Demon Slayer Legion Champ progression series. Or I could do a series which is like my overall progression through every character. So I'll show every character what I'm doing in each video, just every character instead of one. So I'll show what I'm doing in each character, how I'm progressing each character. Those are the different options. I'm thinking of doing the one where I do multiple and just not do every character. So I could do my Demon Slayer as a progression series right now. And then come summer, one of the new hyper burns I'll do as a progression series so that somebody can see it from complete 0. The Demon Slayer would technically be 26 mil already. The Xenon would be like, I'm planning on doing the Xenon because I'm probably going to item burn the Xenon. So I'll do the Xenon as the summer hyper burn. And it'll be the progression series, and it'll be from 0. So I'm thinking about doing a Demon Slayer for a progression series now, and then come summer, I'll do the Xenon, and that'll be like 2. But which one out of those do you think is the best? Thank you for watching.